I'm really sorry to insult you, but your iPhone is starting to look a little bit small, at least in comparison to these. This is the iPhone 6 with a 4.7-inch display, and this is the iPhone 6 Plus with a 5.5-inch display. Yes, these have got bigger screens, but there's lots more in them too, including new cameras and NFC chips to help you kill your wallet. Both the 6 and the 6 Plus have new Retina HD displays that display far more than you've been able to see on your iPhone 5 or 5S. Like a bigger Android phone, it's great for seeing more of web pages, and Apple's added a special landscape mode for the home screen with the 6 Plus. On both phones, you can move through web pages and emails with swipes on the side. But I really prefer the smaller version for my smaller hands. The 5.5-inch version looks like a small tablet. Both the new phones have 8-megapixel cameras with new sensors inside, and they have a new and faster A8 processor. But the biggest game changer in here might be the NFC chip, which is trying to kill my humongous wallet. Called Apple Pay, you'll be able to register your credit card or bank account with Apple, and you'll be able to pay in stores by just tapping the phone and holding down the Touch ID fingerprint sensor. Apple's worked with lots of stores, including Starbucks, Subway, and some others. Of course, there are plenty of security and privacy questions, though Apple says,
when you add a new credit card, we don't store the credit card number and we don't give it to the merchant.
The 6 starts at $199 and the 6 Plus
to change in this one. On the other hand, we have the 13-megapixel Sony Exmor RS sensor of the OnePlus One combined with a 6-part lens construction with the f2.0 aperture, a dual LED flash, and a great software package that, in contrast to the iPhone 6 camera app, has a lot of different features which will allow for a great camera experience that is catered to the way that you want it to be. On the front, you get a 5-megapixel camera with a wide lens that enables an 80 degrees field of view, which is good for some selfie lovers out there. And finally, in software, we revisit iOS versus Android, but in the case of the OnePlus One, it is CyanogenMod 11S. It's basically a special release built specifically for the OnePlus One to take advantage of all of its hardware and features. You get a clean, minimalistic, stock-like experience, but get underneath the surface and you'll find a lot of customization options, not just with the device's theme engine and with its own store for the theme engine, but also for various types of gestures that are available and a lot of options to really cater the experience to what you want it to be, like Android should be. But for the iPhone 6, the iOS 8 UI remains largely the same as iOS 7, but there are some new features, such as the support for third-party keyboards, putting widgets in the notification dropdown, and the actually robust new health application. Probably the most exciting feature is continuity, which allows you to have sync across a bunch of different Apple products, but then from there you also get the reachability feature, which allows for one-handed use. But here is the crux of this comparison, where price isn't usually a factor when it comes to flagship comparisons because they usually all fall around the same price range. That is not the case here, with the OnePlus One available at almost 1/3 of the cost of the iPhone 6 Plus. This is certainly worth noting for what could be considered a similar experience, at least in terms of size, display quality, and for the most part the different tasks that you would be able to do in either one of these phones. If you do find that the OnePlus One already caters to what it is that you need to do in your daily life, then its cost is probably going to be the trump card that lets you choose it over the iPhone 6 Plus. So keep it tuned to Android Authority for even more coverage of the iPhone and iPhone 6 Plus as we take a look at the competition here, comparing them to Android flagships, because we are your source for all things Android.